Hello, my friends. Last week, I noticed that 5 out of every 10 people that I was running into was dealing or suffering from some type of crisis. Some of it was financial, some relationship, some of it was about health, but 5 out of 10 people was dealing with something. And what I want you to do today is to think about, is that you or is that someone that you know? Are you experiencing the same thing that I'm experiencing? People just suffering emotionally or physically from some type of crisis. Each one of these people, they were dealing with issues, and it got them in a position where they seemed to be stuck. They were stuck. They couldn't move forward. They couldn't dream anymore. They're not dreaming anymore. They seemed to be stuck in the past. It was about a relationship that went south. It was about a home that they lost, or just stuck in finances. They can't seem to dig their way out of a hole. But they were struggling. They were depressed. They were complaining. And I don't mean depressed to the point where they're, at home and under the cover, but their conversations seem to be constantly negative because of the things that are going on in their life. If that's you, or if that's somebody that you know, I want to tell you today that it does not have to be that way. You can decide today that you are in control of your life and start moving forward. Life does not control you, you control it. You can decide today that what I'm going through, the crisis that I'm going through today, will not be where I will be tomorrow. My wife and I, we often say that the problems that I have this year, I won't take into next year with me. Deciding that you're in control. If it's about a relationship, I want you to remember that God often brings people into our lives for a reason, and He takes people out of our lives for a reason. And I'm not, there are people that have lost people to death, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about bad relationships. Sometimes we choose to stay in relationships that God don't want us in. He never put us in that relationship, but yet we stay in it because sometimes it's because we don't want to be lonely, or we don't want another failed relationship. But God does not want us to be unhappy. If we're in an unhappy relationship, we probably need to look at, maybe getting some counseling, getting some coaching, and if that doesn't work, we get out of it, because we can't continue to be unhappy every day for the rest of our lives. We cannot live like that. If it's about finances, remember that little saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Well, how do you deal with your credit? You deal with your credit, your finances, one credit score at a time. If it's at 600, get it to 610, 620, 640, 700, 750. Work on it, but you have to be intentional about it. Don't just sit there every day thinking, I only make X amount of dollars and I'm never going to get out of this hole, and that's just the way life is. No, that's not the way that it has to be. I've shared my story with you guys several times. I have filed bankruptcy. I've been in a closet on my knees asking God, why? Why me, Lord? But by the next year, I had turned things around. I took what was a financial crisis and turned it into $1 million businesses. I've owned over 15 different businesses in my life. Some have worked, some have not. You can do the same thing. You can make a change. I'm not saying that you have to establish and run $1 million business, but whatever your financial situation is, it does not have to be that way. Be intentional about your finances, about your spending, and about your earning. The last thing I want to talk to you about is your health. I want you right now, whatever your situation is health-wise, if you're obese, if you're dealing with some medical conditions, your knees, your back, whatever the case may be, I want you to go online right now and look up 3 ways to deal with what you're dealing with. If it's, weight, look up 3 ways of losing weight. If it's your heart condition, 3 ways to strengthen your heart. Now, when you get that information, do something about it. You are not stuck where you are. You can make a change. If your back is hurting, your knees are hurting, there is a solution. Lose weight, get some therapy, whatever the case may be, but it does not have to be that way. You do not have to live in a constant crisis. You are not stuck. In every crisis, I want you to remember this. In every crisis, there's an opportunity. You just have to be willing to look for it. All right, please like and subscribe and be blessed.